Good morning to all. It's a beautiful day here at Father Jack's Garden. Welcome back. Let's take a little walk into the garden here this morning. Oh, sorry. The pampas grass is growing on the outside there. I enjoy the pampas grass. Can't eat it, but it's kind of beautiful to look at. Coming into the middle of summer, so to speak, here. Father Jack's Garden, actually around the 1st of July, more close to the beginning of summer. And you can see over here where, remember back in the spring we had the colony in there with all the different kinds of squash. And now I've transitioned into some new zucchini plants there, as the first ones have kind of completed. And you can see here the spaghetti squash, and getting all nice and golden yellow. Spaghetti are winter squash. That means they grow a hard outer shell so you can store them and they last into the winter. The same with the butternut squash there. See the butternuts? So once the vines have kind of completed, you can see they're kind of dying back, and then the squash begin to turn color. The spaghetti, of course, turn bright golden yellow, and the butternuts turn lovely orange. So we just leave those squash and we let them, as the vine dies back, we let them harden up and turn a deep hue of the color that they will be. And then we harvest them and put them in the garage, actually, so we can eat them later. Also, you'll see here from the previous squash that I let a couple squash go and I didn't pick them. And here's a patty pan squash. Now this is the one that size that you would pick and eat on the right. And there's what they look like when they actually grow to full size on the left. So I always want to let a squash go, and so I can harvest the seeds for next time, the seasons ahead. Now we're going to do a whole section on harvesting seeds coming up. That gives you an idea. Today I want to talk to you about a wonderful and joyful thing to grow in your garden, and that is sunflowers. Ah! Isn't that a beautiful, joyful sight in the morning? Sunflowers are wonderful to grow as part of your garden because, first of all, they just bring a lot of joy. Every time you look at them, they're just like, joy! Joy to the world, the sunflowers grow. Yeah, joy, that's what God wants us to have in our hearts as we grow, as we live, basking in His light. Sunflowers turn their flowers directly toward the sun. You can actually watch them move from the morning, pointing to the east, into the evening. The whole top of the sunflower will turn to face the setting sun. Until they bloom, of course, and then they kind of stay in a fixed position. It's an interesting analogy for us as we follow the Lord. We want to have our face always turned toward Him, and as we bloom, stay fixed. Our hearts are fixed on Him. So we can see our joyful sunflower here on the left. Just glory in the sunrise this morning. And here on the right we see a sunflower, big giant sunflower. This is actually the one that God planted, that has already bloomed and they kind of bow their heads humbly toward the ground as they form the sunflower seeds. So sunflowers give you a lot of joy, and you can see I just sort of randomly plant them around the edges of my garden here and there. They don't take a lot of space. They have a small footprint, as it were, in your garden. And then they produce joy, but they also produce wonderful sunflower seeds. And once the sunflowers have run their course, and then you want to leave the heads of the flower on there for some time as they, you also want to watch your footing when you're walking around the garden so you don't land on your bazooka. So you can see now the seeds are forming up in the sunflower. That little outer part there, that's kind of like where the flower was. And underneath there, that's where the seeds are forming up. So there's going to be about, I don't know, a gazillion seeds on this giant sunflower here that grew in my garden. And then we're going to take those seeds, we're going to harvest them, and we're going to make wonderful sunflower sprouts. Great, super nutritious way to get the blessing, the benefit out of your sunflowers once they've bloomed and the seeds are set. So on the next session, I'm going to do a little instruction on how you make sunflower sprouts. And you can put them on your sandwiches and on your burgers. You can put them in your salads. Especially here in the valley, in Bakersfield, it's so hot in the summer that we really can't grow lettuce. So sprouts are a great way to have a salad addition along with your cucumbers and tomatoes that are rolling in right now. So thanks for joining me once again here on Father Jack's Garden. A little segment on sunflowers. I'm just going to leave you with a picture of joy to take you into your day. God bless you. See you next time on Father Jack's Garden.